Do you know why you hesitate before entering a trade? Why your hand freezes on the mouse? Why you watch the setup and still don't click? Do you know why you close trades too early or don't enter at all? It's not your strategy, it's fear. You sit in front of your screen, charts moving, candles forming, a perfect setup appears, everything aligns with your plan. You've seen this before, you know this setup, but something happens. Your heart beats faster, your mind starts talking. What if it fails? What if I lose again? And just like that, you don't enter. A few minutes later, the market moves exactly as you expected. Perfect, clean, profitable, without you. And in that moment, you don't feel calm, you feel pain. Not from losing money, but from missing the opportunity. That is fear. Fear doesn't always look like panic. Sometimes it looks like hesitation. It looks like overthinking. It looks like waiting for one more confirmation. But deep down, it's the same thing. You are afraid. Now think about this. How many times have you seen a setup and didn't take it? How many times have you said, "I'll wait, I'm not sure, maybe later," and then watched the market move without you? That's not bad luck, that's fear controlling your decisions. But fear doesn't stop there, it changes form. You finally decide to enter a trade. This time you push yourself, you click, you're in. At first, everything is fine. The trade moves a little in your favor. You feel relief. But then the market pulls back, just a little, and instantly fear returns. Close now, take the profit, don't lose this. And before the trade has time to develop, you close it. A small win. You feel safe, but deep down, you know something. You didn't follow your plan. And then you watch the market continue without you. Again. Fear just stole your profit. Now let's go deeper. Fear is not just about losing money. Fear is about being wrong. You don't want to be wrong. You don't want to feel that loss again. You don't want that moment where you look at your screen and realize, "I made a mistake." So your mind tries to protect you. It tells you, "Don't enter, wait more, be careful." But that protection is destroying your growth. Because in trading, being wrong is normal. Losses are normal. Uncertainty is normal. But your mind doesn't accept that, so it creates fear. And that fear controls everything. It controls when you enter. It controls when you exit. It controls how much you risk. It controls your confidence. And slowly, without you realizing, you are no longer trading your strategy. You are trading your emotions. And the worst part, you think it's the market. You think, "My strategy is not working. This setup is not good. I need something better." But the problem is not your strategy. It's fear. So now you understand something. It's not just hesitation. It's not just closing early. It's not just missing trades, it's deeper than that. Fear is shaping your entire behavior. And the most dangerous part is that you don't even notice it. Because fear doesn't scream, it whispers. It tells you, "Wait a little longer, be safe, don't risk it." And you listen every time. But what happens next is where most traders lose control. Because after fear stops you from entering, something else begins to grow inside you. Regret. You sit there, watching the trade you didn't take move perfectly, candle after candle, exactly how you predicted. And now your mind changes. "This was easy. I knew it. I should have entered." And suddenly, fear disappears. But not in a good way. Now it turns into something worse. Impulsiveness. because now you don't want to miss again. So the next setup comes, and this time you don't hesitate. You rush. You enter too early. No confirmation, no patience, no discipline. Because now you are not trading the market. You are reacting to your last mistake. And that's where everything breaks. The trade goes against you, fast, unexpected, and now fear returns again. But this time, it's stronger. Your heart races, your mind panics, your hand moves quickly. Close it, get out, don't lose. And just like that, you exit. Another loss, another emotional decision, another cycle. And now you're stuck between fear and reaction. You hesitate, then you chase, then you panic, then you regret. Again and again and again. And if you don't break this cycle, it will follow you into every trade. But here's where it gets even more dangerous. Because after enough losses, fear evolves again. It becomes something heavier. Doubt. And once doubt enters your mind, everything starts to collapse. But what doubt does to a trader is something most people never recover from. Doubt is where everything begins to fall apart. Because now, it's no longer just about one trade. Now you start questioning everything. Your strategy, your entries, your decisions, even yourself. You look at the chart and nothing feels clear anymore. Setups you once trusted now look confusing. Signals you once understood now feel uncertain. And in that moment, you hesitate again. But this time, it's not just fear, it's lack of belief. You don't trust your system. You don't trust your analysis. You don't trust yourself. So what do? You start searching. New strategies, new indicators, new confirmations. You think, maybe this is the problem. Maybe I need something better. But the truth is, you are not fixing the problem. You are running away from it. Because the real problem was never your strategy. It was always your fear. And now that fear has turned into doubt. And doubt leads to something even worse, paralysis. You sit in front of your screen, watching the market move, but you do nothing. No entries, no confidence, no action, just watching. Because now, every decision feels risky, every trade feels dangerous, every click feels like a mistake waiting to happen. And slowly, you stop trading, not because you want to, but because you're afraid to continue. And this is where most traders quit, not because they couldn't learn, not because they didn't try, but because fear silently destroyed their confidence. But here's the truth most traders never hear. Fear is not your enemy. It's a signal that you have not accepted something. And until you understand what that is, this cycle will continue. But once you understand it, everything begins to change. And what you need to understand next is the one thing that can completely remove fear from your trading. So what is that one thing that can remove fear from your trading? It's not a better strategy. It's not more confirmation. It's not more experience. It's acceptance. You see, fear exists for one reason. You have not truly accepted the risk. You say you understand risk. You say you know losses are part of trading, but deep down, you haven't accepted it. Because if you had, you wouldn't hesitate. Think about it. If you fully accepted that this trade could lose before you even entered, what would happen? You wouldn't panic. You wouldn't rush. You wouldn't close early. Because nothing unexpected would happen. The loss would already be accepted. And when there is nothing to fear, there is nothing to react to. This is how professionals think. They don't enter trades hoping to win. They enter trades accepting they might lose. And because of that, they stay calm. While others panic, they observe. While others hesitate, they execute. While others react emotionally, they follow their plan. And that is the difference. So before your next trade, you need to do something most traders skip. Pause. Look at the setup, look at your plan, and ask yourself one question. Am I fully accepting the risk of this trade? If the answer is no, don't enter, because fear is already waiting for you. But if the answer is yes, then something powerful happens. You enter with clarity. You stay with discipline. You exit with control. No fear, no panic, no regret, just execution. And when you repeat this again and again and again, fear starts to lose its power. But there is one final thing, one mistake traders still make even after understanding all this. And that mistake can bring fear back instantly. So you start to understand risk. You begin to accept that losses are part of the game. You feel a little more calm, a little more in control. But then, something unexpected happens. You take a loss. And even though you told yourself you accepted it, it still hurts. Not because of the money, but because of the feeling. The discomfort, the frustration, the small voice inside saying, "Again?" And in that moment, most traders make a silent mistake. They try to avoid that feeling. They don't want to feel that loss again. They don't want that discomfort again. They don't want that moment of being wrong again. So what do? They become selective. They start filtering trades too much, waiting for perfection, looking for something that feels safe. But here's the problem. There is no safe trade. The moment you start avoiding discomfort, you start avoiding opportunity. Because every trade carries uncertainty. Every trade carries risk. Every trade carries the possibility of loss. And if you only take trades that feel comfortable, you will take almost no trades at all. Or worse, you will only take the ones that look safe but aren't. And slowly, fear sneaks back in. Not as panic, not as hesitation, but as overthinking. You sit there, analyzing the same chart again and again, adding more confirmation, more indicators, more reasons. But deep down, you're not searching for clarity. You're searching for certainty. And certainty does not exist in trading. So the more you search for it, the more confused you become. And the more confused you become, the more fear grows. Until you are right back where you started. Hesitating, doubting, overthinking. But now there's something even more subtle happening. Something most traders never notice because it hides behind logic. It feels like you are being careful, like you are being smart, like you are protecting your account. But in reality, you are still being controlled by fear. And if you don't recognize this version of fear, it will stay with you, no matter how much you learn. But once you see it clearly, you can finally break free from it. And what you need to understand next is how to act even when fear is still there. So now you see it clearly. Fear is not something you can completely remove. It will always be there, before the trade, during the trade, after the trade. But the difference between a losing trader and a consistent one is not the absence of fear. It's how they act in the presence of fear. Because the truth is, courage in trading is not feeling confident. It's acting correctly, even when you don't feel comfortable. A disciplined trader still feels fear, but he doesn't listen to it. He sees the setup, he checks his plan, he accepts the risk, and he executes. No hesitation, no overthinking, no emotional reaction. Not because he is fearless, but because he is trained. Trained to follow process over emotion, trained to trust his system, trained to accept uncertainty. And that is where control is built. Not in perfect conditions, but in uncomfortable moments. So, next time you sit in front of your charts and you feel that fear again, that hesitation, that pressure, don't run from it. Don't wait for it to disappear, because it won't. Instead, pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, am I following my plan or my fear? Because in that moment, you have two choices. Follow fear and stay stuck in the same cycle, or follow your plan and slowly become the trader you want to be. So next time you feel fear before entering a trade, remember this: fear is not the problem. Ignoring your plan because of fear is. Master that one decision and you change everything. If this helped you, like the video, subscribe for more, and tell me in the comments, what do you feel before entering a trade? Because your answer might be the first step to controlling it.